Hello, Catamounts. My name is Alexander Hoffman, and this is Chats with Cats, presented by WeTV. In this series, I will be interviewing some of our amazing athletes at WCU. Today, I have Kamar Robertson of our men's basketball team here in the studio. How are you, Kamar?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing well. Let's get right
good.
into these interview questions. So, please introduce yourself and tell me and the camera who you are and your position on the team.
Well, I'm Kamar Robertson. I'm from Alpharetta, Georgia. This is my graduate year, so this is my 5th year. So I play point guard and shooting guard on the team. But other than that, that's me in a nutshell right now.
So you mentioned that you are a graduate student, so I do want to talk to you a little bit about that. What brought you to Western after 4 seasons at Mercer?
After 4 seasons at Mercer, what brought me to Western was just the overall culture and coaches that are here. They just made me feel welcome since the first time Coach Lightfoot had called me. He just made me feel like I was a part of the team. Because at first I was like, okay, they're talking to me, okay, it's just Western. But then after continued conversations with Coach Lightfoot and Coach Gray and Coach Freeze and Coach G, and talking to Russ and Trey and some of my teammates that I knew before this, they just sold me on coming here. And it's just a beautiful place here, and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, I completely agree. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You mentioned Coach Gray. How much of an influence would you say Coach Justin Gray is on you?
I feel like Coach Justin Gray has been a big influence on me, because just the way he comes to practice and just talks to us is just a different way than I've been used to before. Because it's more so he's a true players coach instead of someone that's just yelling at you all the time, which isn't the best thing. But I mean, I understand that also. But he's been a big influence, just talking to me, just keeping me focused on. Because I've had some injuries that have happened over the years, and just talking about that, and just him never losing faith in me, no matter what's been going on. It's been a big key in just keeping the faith of everything's gonna work out.
Yeah, one thing that I've seen a lot, and I talked to everyone that I've been interviewing so far, is how he creates that like community and family feel inside the team, big time, and that's something that a lot of other schools don't seem to have. And yeah.
For sure. The family feel here is second to none. It's basically, and anytime one of our family members or we have our girlfriends come up, they can come to practice, which is I've never seen before, because they're so big on family and just everyone being together. And in a family, you wouldn't leave anyone out. So just the family feel here from everybody has been great to experience, honestly.
Yeah, it is something that I've seen time and time again, just watching you guys. I did want to talk to you a little bit about, you had a game against Mercer about a week and a half ago, so early February, but that was a really good game for you. You scored 15 points, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that game.
Oh yeah, the game against Mercer, I felt like I had to prove something to them that they didn't necessarily see in me last year at the end of the year. So it was really fun to play against some of my friends that were there. It was also really fun just to compete again and start to feel better physically for me, regardless of who it was playing. But it was a great game, but it was fun to see everyone again, talk to some of the coaches that I was with for 4 years, talk to some of my friends on the team. But it was always great to beat them by 30. That was definitely a fun time.
Yeah, it was really exciting to watch your drive on that game. Seems like you definitely had special energy for that one, which was great to see. That's about it for most of the athletics questions. I did also want to ask, other than Coach Justin Gray, what or who motivates you to play basketball?
What or who motivates me to play basketball? I would say my family. Just they've always been there for me my whole life, no matter what's been going on. Especially my mom. My mom's a big key of who I play for, and just to make her proud and for all the sacrifices she's made for me throughout my life. I feel like I have to pay it back to her, and she just has so much joy in watching me play basketball. So I feel like that's a big thing. Just even if I'm out there or not, just staying positive and having fun is a big thing to show my mom that I'm still doing this for her and is still competing, no matter what injuries or anything like that, no matter what's going to stop me. She's definitely the big key.
Yeah, recently I saw you guys had senior night, and it was nice seeing everyone's family out for that. And it's a really big part of both Western and also being able to play personally.
Yeah.
I did want to kind of move on to the other side of this interview, which is to talk more about the academic side, because one thing I've talked to you about is that these interviews are meant to help with not just showing the athlete, but also the student behind the athlete and the person behind the athlete, because everyone is more than just the sport they play. So a little bit about that. Would you mind telling us what is your major, minor, what are you studying?
So my major, so since I graduated from Mercer, I majored in sports marketing and analytics, and then I minored in management. And then this year, I'm doing my MBA at Biltmore Park, so I'm gonna be graduating my MBA in July.
Okay.
So I'll have two degrees by the end of the summer, which will be nice.
Exciting.
Oh yeah.
What do you plan on doing with your degree, like career-wise? Or?
So after this, I plan on trying to play professionally somewhere as long as my body lets me. And then after that, I want to do something with sports marketing in the sports industry and like the NBA or NFL or MLB, because I've started to grow into like baseball more, which is interesting. But and then other than that, or be a coach. I know Russ. We talked about whenever Russ gets a head coaching job, I'm gonna be one of his assistants. So that'll be fun, starting to coach with some of my teammates again, whenever that is down the road.
Yeah, Russ said that he has thought about also coming back to Western to coach too, and so could see assistant coach Kamar Robertson along with Coach Russ.
Oh yeah, if he comes and he calls me, I'm here. I'll be here.
To see.
Oh yeah.
It'll be exciting to see down the road players that I watched play being the coaches. Other than that, I did want to mention, you mentioned how you've grown to like baseball more, which is interesting because you play basketball, but are you going to the WCU baseball games too?
I'll definitely be going to some. Whenever I have time to, I'll be at some. Because I don't know why, but I always watch, I'm a Braves fan now. It's like over the past like 4 or 5 years, I've been starting to watch more baseball. So I don't know why all of a sudden it started to be enjoyment, but that's just something new for me.
Could be interesting.
Yeah.
What is your best memory at WCU? It can be athletics related, can be not. I know with you kind of being here more recently.
Best memory, that's a tough one. Since I would say my best memory overall is just the connections I built with the coaches and my players, and the different times we've had just like playing the game with Russ and them, or just having conversations, or going to a lake house and having fun with my teammates playing cornhole and things like that. So I would say there's a bunch of different good moments that have happened. I don't think I necessarily have one best moment.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of what I've gotten from a lot of you guys as I've been interviewing you, is there's a lot, especially with how close all of you are.
Yeah.
One last question that I have for you today. It's a bit of a fun question, kind of not necessarily academics or athletics. What is your go-to artist to listen to before a game to get ready?
My go-to artist for games would be Youngboy, NBA Youngboy. For some reason, he's very aggressive, so I guess that's just fun to listen to before the games, and he has really good beats. But sometimes I listen to like calm music, so like Rod Wave. So between Youngboy and Rod Wave is probably two of the most I listen to before games. What about you? What would your song be before a game?
Oh, that's the first time I've been asked that one. Okay, so I listen to a lot of pop music and alternative, so gets hated on a lot, but AJR, a lot of AJR. If you've heard anything by them, you might have.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize they've heard them. And then I'm going to get some hate for this, but Taylor Swift. I like Taylor Swift.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's just a lot of people, especially after the Super Bowl, are just very against whatever. I just like the music.
Yeah, no, she got some good music.
Oh, yeah. It's a good question. Getting asked a question by you. Interesting. Good way to end off on that. That is all I have for today's episode with Kamar Robertson. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Kamar, for being here.
I appreciate you for having me.
See you next time.
Yes, sir.